Anytime you're handling the lamps or the sleeves, you want to make sure that you're wearing clean, lint-free cotton gloves. You don't want to leave any fingerprints on any of these surfaces. If you happen to touch them with your fingers and leave a fingerprint, or even if you touch them and don't see a fingerprint, clean it off with isopropyl alcohol, make sure it's dry, make sure you can't see any residue on there. Any oil residue left from your fingers could cause premature lamp failure. Ensure that the up arrow is pointing up on the sleeve. Insert the sleeve from the top through the reactor, making sure you line up the bottom end and place it as so. Next, wet the O-ring with water for a little bit of lubrication and slide the O-ring over the top of the sleeve. And using the top sleeve bolt, press it down, and turn until it locks. Moving to the bottom end, again, a little bit of water on the O-ring for lubrication. Slide it over top and then install the bottom sleeve bolt, which locks in place with a quarter turn. Next, insert and tighten the lower sleeve bolt retaining screw. To insert the lamp, note the thicker lamp alignment tabs compared to the other two, as well as the electrical connections. Insert the lamp into the sleeve. Make sure you align the thicker tab with the thicker slot. Push down, turn. On the electrical connections, you want to make sure that the slot and the two pins meet over top of the lamp properly, and that the locating pin fits into the hole on top of the sleeve bolt. This ensures that the magnet and the reed switch align properly. If these don't line up, you won't be able to fire the lamp. Push it down, squeeze the retaining clip and down, and it locks it into place. To remove the lamp, pinch and lift the retaining spring, wiggle and pull the electrical connector free. Turn the lamp approximately 1/8 of a turn and pull straight up. Be careful not to handle the glass with anything other than clean gloves. Remove the top sleeve bolt, quarter turn, and out. Next, undo and remove the bottom sleeve bolt retaining screw if it was installed. Then unscrew and remove the bottom sleeve bolt. To remove the sleeve, insert the sleeve removal tool into the sleeve on the bottom. Put a screwdriver into the slot, press up, that pushes the sleeve out through the top where you can remove it. Again, be careful to handle it only with clean cotton gloves. Pull the O-ring off and replace if you're going to replace it. And you can pull the O-ring out of the bottom of the reactor. To install the sensor, slide the sensor fitting into the port on the side of the reactor and tighten the nut. Hand tight only, don't use any wrenches. You may need to put a little water on the O-ring there to help lubricate it on the way in. And note that the plunger is now on the bottom, not on the top. This is to prevent any water or any moisture leakage from getting into the sensor itself. To install the sensor, insert the sensor into the port on the side of the UV reactor and tighten the hex nut. Hand tight only. You may need to use some water to lubricate the O-ring to help it fit into place. The cord comes out the bottom and then is inserted into the appropriate receptacle on the bottom of the control panel. Blue cord into the blue receptacle. Newer systems are also now available with a flow meter. The flow meter threads into the inlet side piping and has to have 10 inches of free pipe on the upstream side. There's an arrow indicating flow direction. It threads onto the piping, and like the UV intensity sensor, the flow meter plugs into the bottom of the control panel. The green cable end plugs into the green receptacle on the bottom of the control panel. The electrical connections for the controller consist of the 120 volt main supply power, plugs in there. The sensor connection, the sensor cable connects in, the blue connector goes into the blue port. And the fan power supply for the reactor fan plugs in to the purple port, with the purple connector. The control panel also has LED indicator lights for fault diagnosis and troubleshooting. There's one for the control panel itself, one for the fan, one for the lamp, one for the sensor, and one for the solenoid valve if your unit is equipped with a solenoid valve. There's also two buttons, one to silence alarm. This will silence an alarm temporarily, and one for lamp replacement. If you replace the lamp, you press and hold this button for 5 seconds until you hear a beep. That will reset the counter for the next lamp replacement timer. These LED lights will change color from green, which is good condition, to yellow on some, or flashing yellow, red solid, or flashing red. Check with the O&M manual on the control panel section for the indicator lights and what the different light statuses would mean. You can silence the alarm temporarily. The fan failure alarm flashing red indicates the reactor fan is faulted. A solid red LED on the lamp LED indicates that the lamp is inactive due to ballast failure or possibly a bad connection, electrical connection, or a lamp failure. Sensor LED flashing red means the sensor is disconnected or not functioning, or the dose is below the minimum. Sensor solid yellow means that the dose is near the minimum and it may be time to clean the lamp sleeves.